Hi, my name is Kenley Turner, and I am a mixed media and performance artist. Performance, for me at least, is just about feeling the emotions, and it's a very inward activity for me. Sometimes performance can kind of relieve me of having to think through a concept all the way, or having to think about this highly conceptual work all the way through. And that way it's kind of cathartic because I can just focus on like the therapy aspect of art making rather than like this academic side of art making or research side of art making. It's a lot more free. This specific piece has gone through several iterations. I was gonna make like this big like spatial installation with these ceramic stars and like rugs that I had made. And I painted the walls black and I had all these like pink and purple stars, and I was like, it's like a void. And it is like falling really flat, like just the physicalness of it. And I was like, my work is not about physicality. So I was like, I don't know why I'm doing this. This is not me. And I just kind of had like a mini crisis. But then I like got in the piece and I was like, what if I make this a black box and I'm performing in it? And it just felt so much more comfortable for me to do that. I was kind of going back to my roots with music and theater, and I was like, I feel a lot more comfortable living in this realm than I do in like actual sculptures. The performance side of things I feel like are a little bit more intuitive. I feel like when I'm performing, it's not as planned. I just kind of go in and like feel my way through my work. And it's almost like the opposite of making a video or a projection that goes with the performance, because that's very planned out and has like a specific order in which you have to do the process. When you're performing, it's almost like you just like have your eyes closed and you just open them and you just start doing it, and it's like you lose yourself amongst the audience and you don't even realize that you're in a room full of people. I think that's one thing that COVID has definitely affected, is having an audience there definitely fuels the energy for a performance. With COVID limiting numbers of people that can be in a room, or maybe making things a little bit more intimate, has been interesting because you kind of have to work with a smaller audience, or maybe just perform in front of one or two people, and sometimes making it more intimate can be more intimidating. Right before the shutdown happened, me and my boyfriend had just broken up, so I went back to Texas and lived with my family, and I was basically like, this is a perfect time for me to just go back to my roots and get a clean slate going. And it almost felt like my time in Kansas City had just been a dream in some ways, and I was like, what if I just wake up and all that was a dream, or that wasn't really real? And it just kind of made me think of my life segmented and just living in the present moment, and having like past lives basically. So a big thing that I've been trying to explore in my work is playing with fantasy and childhood motifs. During childhood, you're really receptive to real life being very fantastical and mystical, and it's almost like real life and fantasy kind of like morph into one, but as you age, that kind of goes away in a lot of senses. So I guess part of my work that I'm exploring is trying to reach that childhood sense of finding fantastical elements in real life. I use the combination of pink and purple because it makes me think of my childhood bedroom. My mom had like painted these diamonds in my room, pink and purple, that alternate, and it was super awesome, and it just made me feel like a princess. It's interesting that something so small can just bring out so much joy. I feel like when we're adults, we don't really get that same sense out of just finding joy in little small things like that. What if you just wake up and you're like 5 years old and your whole life had just been a dream, and all that knowledge that you just gained is just like in your head, but you're like still a child. Does that happen to y'all? Does that happen to y'all?